In the near future, Earth faces an alien invasion and a growing sense of panic. With resources dwindling, governments start to believe that surrender might be their only option for survival. In Chicago, the Drummond family is one of many trying to escape the chaos. The father, a detective, plans to flee by car, but gets stopped by a police officer who insists he follow the new government orders. Ignoring this, he attempts a different escape route, but their journey is cut short when aliens appear on the road, instantly vaporizing the parents. The Drummond children survive, left to face a changed world alone. 9 years later, humans have adjusted to life under alien rule. These invaders, now called the legislators, govern Earth with an iron grip. People have been conscripted to build vast underground closed zones exclusively for the legislators, only accessible to top government officials. Military forces have been disbanded, and the general population is forced into labor, extracting Earth's resources for their alien overseers. Social divisions have worsened. The wealthy live comfortably, while the poor face increasingly harsh conditions. Police raids and deportations, and all digital communication has been cut off. Underground resistance group known as Phoenix remains active, undeterred by a failed attack on one of the closed zones. Gabriel Drummond, one of the Drummond children who survived the initial invasion, starts his day, unaware that he's being observed by Commander William Mulligan. Gabriel, now grown, spends his morning with his girlfriend Rula before heading out to meet his friend Yorgos. The two of them avoid familiar streets to evade alien drones and human informants. Meanwhile, Mulligan is alerted by a seemingly ordinary newspaper ad featuring Phoenix's symbol. Annoyed, he marks it with red ink and heads to a brothel bearing the same logo, where he meets Priscilla Scott, who gives him a mysterious box. She tries to flirt with him, but he leaves. Back at police headquarters, Mulligan reviews his case files and insists to his partner Kermode that Phoenix is still active, hidden from the public eye. At the same time, in an abandoned building, Phoenix leaders Charles Rittenhouse and Patrick Ellison read a classified ad, indicating that their team has a new mission to carry out later that night. Gabriel heads to his job at the Data Reclaim Center, where he processes memory cards by uploading their data and destroying the physical copies. During a break, a Phoenix member discreetly gives him a hand-rolled cigarette with hidden information inside. Later, a woman attempting to steal memory cards is apprehended due to her tracking bug. Gabriel and Yorgos then rendezvous at an old building where they've hidden a boat to use as an escape plan. Yorgos has also brought weapons, which upsets Gabriel due to the added risk. As they argue, they hear police sirens. Yorgos escapes, but Gabriel hides the gun and is soon found by Mulligan. Mulligan tries to appeal to Gabriel's sense of duty, reminding him of his late father's sacrifices and probing him for information about Phoenix. Gabriel refuses to talk, and after he's released, he visits Raul Cassius to sell the cigarette with secret information. Raul throws Gabriel into a van, fitting him with a collar that blocks his tracking bug. They drive him to Wicker Park, where Gabriel reunites with his long-lost brother Raphael, a Phoenix member who was presumed dead. Raphael, now living off the grid, is able to work freely on resistance plans. He buys the cigarette from Gabriel and declines his offer to flee, determined to honor their father's memory by fighting back. Before Gabriel leaves, Raphael sends a carrier pigeon with the cigarette's code to notify the others and burns his remaining paperwork in preparation for the upcoming mission. Back in the city, Mulligan is still keeping an eye on Gabriel, who returns home to pack and urges Rula to leave with him, hinting at trouble on the horizon. When she questions his motives, he confesses that his brother is alive and Phoenix is planning something big. Mulligan, overhearing this, realizes that Rula has been helping him spy on Gabriel. Betrayed, Gabriel decides to escape alone, but finds Mulligan waiting for him outside. A chase ensues as Gabriel dashes through narrow alleys and across rooftops, eventually blocking his tracking signal with the collar. This causes the alien drones and Mulligan to lose his trail in an abandoned parking lot. At Phoenix's headquarters, Patrick receives Raphael's pigeon message, which he relays to Ivan Leviev, a hacker. Using surveillance data, they identify their target, Deputy Mayor Robert Watts, scheduled to attend a unity rally at Soldier Field that night. Patrick sends word to Phoenix's allies, starting with a young boy who makes a phone call that passes the message through the city. Their network includes drivers like Michael Posner, who hears a special radio song alerting him to prepare. They all visit Harrison Ma, a surgeon who removes their tracking bugs. Raphael meets with a priest, Edward Gunn, to acquire an alien explosive device, carefully concealed. The drivers place their bugs in hidden mouthpieces and carry suicide pills to use if captured. That night, Raphael sneak into Soldier Field while Anita and Evan wait outside. Patrick monitors the mission from Evan's office as Mulligan watches the rally on TV. As Watts approaches the legislator's entrance, Daniel creates a diversion, allowing Raphael to plant the explosive on him. The bomb detonates when Watts nears the legislators, setting off chaos. Patrick confirms Watts's tracker has vanished and gives the signal to Michael for the next step. Mulligan, noticing the news broadcast has stopped, opens Priscilla's box to find a phone inside. At the stadium, panicked crowds scatter as alien ships and police flood the area. Edward is shot, but Daniel manages to escape with Anita. Raphael, cornered by an alien in a parking lot, hides in a car and narrowly avoids its deadly claws. Just in time, Daniel appears, striking the alien with a fire extinguisher, breaking its armor and ultimately killing it. Raphael and Daniel then escape the scene in Anita's car, barely evading capture. Gabriel, finally emerging from hiding, decides to try escaping the city. He makes his way to Jerky's boat, only to find it engulfed in flames, ruining his escape plan. Undeterred, he retrieves a gun he had hidden earlier and fastens a blocking collar around his neck to shield himself from tracking signals. Meanwhile, Detective Mulligan meets with Police Commissioner Eugene Igo, who tells him to drop his investigation and let the alien hunters handle the situation. After this tense exchange, Igo rides a special elevator down to meet the legislators underground. The crackdown on the Phoenix neighborhood intensifies as Mulligan leads special forces into the area, storming homes and buildings in search of Phoenix members. When Jurgis, one of the locals, lashes out at an officer, he's thrown to the ground and beaten. Gabriel rushes in to help, but he's quickly restrained and taken into custody. Meanwhile, Ivan, another Phoenix member, waits anxiously at the subway station, ready to leave the city. He hesitates and decides to call his wife. She hands the phone over to Mulligan, who had been anticipating this call, and demands Ivan reveal the Phoenix group's movements. At the bus station, Raphael arrives to find that Daniel, a fellow Phoenix member, has already boarded a bus. Anita, another member, struggles to get through the long line but eventually picks up a child, helping him through the revolving door to pass as a guardian. She and Raphael board a different bus from Daniel's, and just as they prepare to depart, the lights suddenly go out, an ominous signal that the alien hunters have arrived. Mulligan arrives at the scene as well, just in time to see Daniel captured by the hunters. Anita makes a desperate attempt to help Daniel, but Raphael pulls her back before the aliens notice her. Helplessly, Anita watches as Daniel swallows a pill, dying on the station floor while defiantly declaring, "This isn't over." Anita's anger and grief reach a breaking point, and she springs from her seat, attacking one of the alien hunters. Her bold act costs her life as she's vaporized on the spot. Seeing his chance, Raphael uses the chaos to tackle the hunter but is thrown from the bus. Before he can swallow his own pill and escape captivity, Mulligan arrives and shoots, capturing him alive. At the precinct, Mulligan interrogates Gabriel, who demands legal representation. Mulligan dismisses him, telling him that rights like lawyers no longer exist. Coldly, he adds that he didn't need a warrant to destroy Jerky's boat either. Gabriel still refuses to cooperate, so Mulligan takes him to see Raphael, who has been chained and brutalized. Raphael, weak but defiant, begs Gabriel not to betray Phoenix, telling him it's too late for his own life to be saved. But Mulligan, promising to spare Raphael, pressures Gabriel into cooperating, and Gabriel reluctantly agrees. Now that Phoenix's ranks have been depleted, Gabriel becomes Mulligan's only way to reach the remaining members. Mulligan hands him a newspaper ad he had circled in red, instructing him to take it to Phoenix's usual delivery spot. As Gabriel heads out, the police secretly follow him, tracking his every movement as Raoul picks him up in a van. Along the way, Gabriel witnesses the city descending into chaos. Raoul drives Gabriel to Patrick's office, where Patrick, initially hostile, pulls a gun on him. But when Gabriel mentions Raphael's name, Patrick's suspicion fades. He takes him to an abandoned building to meet Charles. Charles, recognizing Gabriel from past involvement, agrees to help him meet Phoenix's elusive leader, known as Number 1. Charles leads Gabriel to Priscilla's brothel, but as soon as they enter, the police swarm the area. Gabriel reaches Priscilla's room, surprised that she already knows who he is. However, there's no time to talk as the police burst into the room and shoot Priscilla on sight. While Mulligan respectfully covers Priscilla's body, Kermode notices odd details. Priscilla's gun is empty and her room contains history books. He removes a picture from the wall, uncovering a microphone wire leading to a hidden room. Inside, they find a recording setup and a pile of cassettes, confirming that Priscilla, not the police, was the true number one behind Phoenix. Later, Mulligan reports to the governors and legislators, who question him through interpreters from a secure, closed zone. He lays out Phoenix's entire operation. Mulligan explains that she was a former teacher who disappeared 9 years ago, eventually becoming a prostitute to infiltrate elite circles and collect intelligence. To prove this, he plays a tape of governors, including Ego, unknowingly leaking information to Phoenix. Humiliated, Ego leaves in disgrace. With their trust in human officials shaken, the aliens appoint Mulligan as acting commissioner and grant him entry to the closed zone. Although Gabriel is relieved that Raphael's life is spared, his heart breaks as he watches his brother's deportation to an alien world. Mulligan finds him later and offers a ride, remarking that at least Raphael is still alive. Gabriel, disillusioned, responds that it was all pointless. However, Mulligan hints that perhaps Phoenix's failure was part of a larger plan. Before he leaves, Mulligan hands Gabriel a memory card Priscilla had given him. Gabriel smuggles the card into his workplace, concealing it in his mouth until he can examine it on a secure machine. He discovers a video of his baby shower, attended by family, Phoenix members, and Mulligan himself, introduced by Priscilla as an old friend of Gabriel's mother. Filled with renewed purpose, Gabriel decides to keep Phoenix's spirit alive. He deletes it and destroys the card, protecting the memory. Meanwhile, Mulligan heads to the closed zone where he undergoes disinfection and puts on a protective mask. As he enters the elevator, an invisible alien explosive engulfs him. The story concludes.